Testing, testing. Testing. Hello? Alright. Seems like we're in. Okay. So this is Darksiders, for those longtime fans of mine that I really don't have from my other channel at this point. You might know that I played Darksiders 2, the original. It was bad. Well, I wasn't bad at the game. I was just a worse commentator. Well, actually, I'm not that much better now, but what I should be saying really is that I was just... Huh?
There can be no life without order. Good, evil, darkness, light. There must be balance in the universe. Such is the decree of the Charred Council, an ancient body charged by the Creator to preserve the very fabric of existence. But the balance has been broken. Even now, Earth smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the Destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen. Some say the Horsemen War triggered the apocalypse, that he rode to Earth unbidden and doomed all of mankind. But what of the other Horsemen, fearless enforcers of the Council's will? What of fury, strife, and death? To know those names, you must first know another. Nephilim, cursed union of angel and demon.
I know it's been a long time since, I know it's been a long time since my,
and feared their conquest would impair
I hope
the balance.
Not so much better half, and myself streamed on this channel.
Would serve the council in exchange
my female
for
counterpart. I hope
power.
that
Thus were the dreaded horsemen.
I know it hasn't been. Well, it has been kind of long. It's been like a month or more. And the reason for that is because we've both been playing SAO, like Lycoris, however you say it, on Xbox One, which I can't really do YouTube videos on as much as
who lies chained at the council's feet, professing his innocence, but one who would save his brother above all else. He has many names.
Anyways, I've never played Definitive Edition. I'm very familiar with the original, but this plays differently. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like different in this case. Well, it plays the same, but it has different balancing and stuff. I hope some of the sets that you paid for are have been upgraded to be not useless, because they were kind of useless in the original one. You unlocked them at level 5, but by the time you were level 5, you already had better gear, or at least better for me, because I'm not a necromancer or harbinger that much. I'm a hybrid, but I mainly use my scythe as my offensive tool. Anyways, be ready to either A, commit seppuku, or B, be awe-inspired by my skill in this game. Because I've been playing this game for a long time. It was one of the first games I really got into. It was like the third or fourth game I really got into. In fact, it came with my Xbox 360, along with Batman Arkham City. Although I played Minecraft and Transformers Fall of Cybertron, and maybe War for Cybertron 2, before getting into this. But still, I did get into this. I'm not sure how. I remember actually being stuck in this part of the game, the opening level, for a long time. I'll tell you the spot that I get stuck in when we get to it, because it was pretty pathetic that I got stuck there, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm particularly ashamed of, per se, because it was the first time I played this game, and I had never looked anything up about this game, because I know I'm a scrub. What did I get? Put. Put them on! Okay. So apparently it's a different button. It's the... Okay, it's... Okay. It's the options button? I'm used to it being the back button. That's gonna take so much getting used to. It's not even funny. Sorry for going quiet and stopping moving. I'm had to text someone there. Did not mean to go back. I'm getting comfortable again with the PlayStation controller. I'm much better at using the PlayStation controller. I'm not comfortable holding it. Like, that is honestly one of the biggest things that holds me back with PlayStation games. The fact that I'm just uncomfortable with the controller because I don't use it often. Or at all, honestly. Anyways, go over here, because there's a chest, which I forgot what it was in it, but I know there's a chest. That's a hammer, which means it's useful. So, alright, so heavy weapons, as I'm sure anyone who's played this game before, which may or may not be many of you, by the time you're watching this anyway. Heavy weapons, well, really they're secondary weapons, but you use those by pressing Y/triangle, and they are secondary to your sight. So these typically do more damage, but not always, and the best way to distinguish a heavy weapon from your scythe is that all heavy weapons have a charge, which means you can charge up and just sometimes literally bring down the hammer. Which, as you can guess, I am quite fond of doing because I've been compared to like a sociopath or a psychopath before. Although I'm not that much, I'm not that malicious. Like, I wish I was Emperor Palpatine, but no, I'm not. I'm not Palpatine. I'm just a nerd. I'm just a nerd. I'm not Emperor Palpatine. Anyways, so axes, hammers, glaives, and... So axes, hammers, glaives... And what else? Like, I'm talking about like heavy weapons that are slower. Axes, hammers, glaives, and maces. Maces in this game are absolutely fucking huge, by the way. And like, the axes are like great axes. Like, absolutely giant fucking battle axes. But our guy is a Nephilim, and Nephilim are bigger than humans. And this is death. It's the Grim Reaper, so I mean, of course he's physically stronger than a human. Ignore the background noise. That's my grandpa if you're hearing that. Enemies though, you cannot. Enemies though, so other weapons, like secondary weapons that aren't heavy, are bucklers, which you can use as a shield, and if you time it right, you can counter. And if you release it, you can counterattack. Another are claws. Claws are, well, pretty obvious what they do. Like you swing fast. There's also like other things, like other like mace style, not mace style, but like faster weapons. But we're getting near the part where I was stuck at for a super long time. In fact, I think once we get around this area, we'll be there. And I say I was stuck there, I mean I was stuck there for like a year, but not a year of playing consecutively, because I didn't play it daily, I played it occasionally. And so as a result, that's part of the reason why I was stuck so long, because I just didn't play the game. But if you want to look at game time, I was probably stuck there for like a good... I'm going to be not conservative, and I'm going to say like 4 hours. It was probably less than that, but again, I'm not being very conservative with that estimate. Ever have those times where you just wish people would stop fucking, like, texting you, like, because you told them that you're doing something, yet they still respond? It's like, when I say I'm doing something, or I say, like, don't talk to me or something, like, I don't want to... Save it for later, I'm busy! Dude, I'll take in a bowl, sure, in a bowl. In a bowl. Jesus. I'm dead ass about to get a fucking not kidding. I'm legitimately about to get a freaking I'm about to get a fucking giant ass shut the fuck up sign and put it on my door, and that's exactly what it's going to say. Okay, so I lied, we weren't coming up on it. It's been a while since I played the start of the game. Oh, I like this music coming up. Hold on. I'll be quiet so you can hear it. I love this. That track right there. I absolutely love it. Love it. It's one of my favorite like audio tracks, up there with like the up there with, like, you know, Tenebrae, the Dark Lord of Many Faces. You know, like I love that track. It's absolutely amazing. Son of a... Okay, hug the wall, like, Like, hug it like you're trying to put your dick in a hole in the wall. Like, that's what I had to, that's what you have to do to make sure you don't jump off the thing like I did. Normally I'm better than this, but I'm not really used to this being at 60 frames per second, because I play it on, like, the 360 still, so, yeah. And here we are. I know for a fact now, because I know after this is basically the end of the place. So this is where I got stuck for a long time. Much to my embarrassment, I suppose you could say. Now go ahead and get your money. Get your money. Right here. I did not realize that I could get onto that and go down, because I was stupid. I did not see this, and so I thought the goal was to get over there somehow. But these days I know where to go. And that was the only part of the game where I got really stuck for a long time, apart from a couple parts of the Foundry, but even then I didn't get stuck on them for that long per se. I was just an idiot, to be honest.
Keeper of...
I helped you once before, Horseman. Look at me now. How I cursed that day. How I curse you.
Careful, Crowfather. I'm not here to put you out of your misery. Not yet.
I know why you've come. Your brother, the one called War, he's been imprisoned by the Charred Council and awaits their judgment. For doom the earth, for mankind's extinction. Why should I care about your brother's fate?
Because you know the truth.
You know what, I'm ignoring
Your secrets can save him.
The Council will condemn War. Strip him of power, let him rot in oblivion. To hide the truth. My secrets cannot prove his innocence, Horseman.
No, but they can help me to erase the crime.
Bring mankind back from extinction. Madness.
If it's madness, then who better to show me the way?
Should a way exist,
You will find it here.
you will find it here.
The Tree of Life.
Tree of Life. Blah 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 blah.
Let me pass.
Not yet. That which you gave me,
You will take it
you will
back.
take it back.
In exchange for its
Except for
secrets, you agreed to keep the amulet.
Blah blah blah.
No.
Know the voices. They curse and curse and without end. They cry to return. You must destroy it.
You must destroy it!
I cannot.
You annihilated their flesh.
Why do you guard
do you
their
guard their
souls? Blah
souls?
blah.
Open the portal.
Let me get to the action, please.
You will not pass while I live.
Now we get to fight Shadow War
be it.
Clone, and biggest indication that it's not actually War is the fact that War doesn't have orange eyes, he has blue eyes. That's how you
Here
know
your
that it's a
brethren
Shadow
are
Clone.
trapped in eternal torment. Do you wish
It
to
doesn't
join
have
them?
it has the wrong
And
wrong
what
eye
of war?
color.
Would you kill your brother to save your precious,
Precious balance.
He is innocent.
Are you so certain?
see. Look, I need to adjust myself to the combat again with a PlayStation controller and while sitting in a chair instead of a bed. I have to lean forward with my PlayStation controller. I can't really sit back. What? How did I lose that QuickTime event? Scrub. That is the first of 2 QuickTime events in this entire game. The second one is a lot later on. By the way, you know that gauntlet that he has? The one where he's not holding the sword in, it's got like the skull design? Death actually cut that hand off. I know, they're shy. Name drop. Probably, unfortunately.
Open the portal.
I hope not.
Your secrets die with you, old fool.
My secrets, but not yours.
That's the reason why I keep my doors locked and shut, so don't fucking bother me.
The uncountable worlds of our universe swirl in an endless abyss. Many worlds ravaged by time or conflict are swallowed by the abyss, returned to the nothingness from which they were formed. But others linger for eternity on the brink of annihilation. That creation might be balanced with destruction. And in the final moment of battle, death was banished to one such world in the autumn of its life, yet not far from the edge of darkness. Had death been sent to his doom, that answer would be found in the horseman's future.
By the way, the voice actor of War in Darksiders 1 and towards the end of this game actually voices Doctor Strange in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Touch me.
Your arrival here is a bad omen. Yes, it troubles me greatly.
Old one, there's more trouble ahead if you don't start making sense. Where is the tree of life?
Life? This world is dying, lad. Choking on chaos and corruption. We can do little to stop it. Soon, the great tree too shall perish, and with it, the last of my people. Is that not what brought you here, Pale Rider?
I seek the tree. Your chaos and corruption don't concern me.
It seems like we do concern. Fight well. Seek out the Forge Sister. Ask her about the
fire of the mountain. Help her, she'll help you reach the tree.
Reach the tree. As for me, I must return to my work.
And who are you to command a rider?
I am a maker. But that was long ago. And
Are you not curious as to
I am heaven.
he is it?
I'm the tree. Be warned.
I know I am spamming
The
through
dark
this.
presence dwells now. May the makers fall.
So it's like, if you want to hear it, there's plenty of videos of this on YouTube and stuff. And I mean, the game's not that pricey, I don't think. Anyways, I like to start with teleport slash. Unorthodox, maybe. Well, actually, it's not that unorthodox, per se. Two skills during Wrath, which can be restored. I'm well aware. I need to get used to this. Like, I keep forgetting that it's options. I'm used to it being, like, the back button. Like the, you know, like, the button that's now share, right? I'm used to that share button being back. You know, like the button you use to see the gamer tags of everyone in your world on Minecraft. Like that button. Yeah, that's what I'm used to it being. Fun times, fun times, fun times. Honestly, I don't give a fuck.
The makers.
A warrior.
I always saw
And what?
every blow. Muse on that, rider, before you mark me as a coward.
Alright, I'll be taking that. Harvest Revenge is one of the most useful powers of the game. Powers, skills in the game, like it's a scythe skill combo type of thing, whatever you want to say. And it allows you to Anyways, if there are any other games you want me or you know, just a lady to stream, then go ahead and say it. Like, we take requests, so don't be shy.
We've been awaiting. We are
Blah, blah,
without hope.
changing fate.
No.
So one like yourself, that is a long.
How is that your?
Only that I am skilled.
What do you require?
Stalkers, but
Like-
somewhere in the Forge lands. I that cut from ourselves. We are a circle everlasting.
Tell me.
You cannot reach the tree, not the path of a stone, wood, iron. These are the gifts of the makers.
Thought I was supposed to get Chaos Fang out of that deal. Where is my damn weapon? Where's my damn weapon, damn it?
As you read,
Where's my overpower ass darkness? Where? What? Wait. Darkness? Where's my overpowered ass weapon? That's what I meant to say. Fuck. Apparently I'm like on drugs or something. Because I don't know how to speak apparently. I promise I haven't failed an English class. I promise.
The name's out. This. And it's.
Now.
and again.
Okay, what is...
Aye, the both of
I know you guys probably might be more interested than I am in this. I'm not, though.
Right.
I just want to get through this.
We fight for the survival of our... Fare thee well.
So, yeah, I'm kind of unhappy because I don't have my weapon, which makes me sad. I'm used to having my Chaos Fang by now. Chaos Fang is a legendary weapon you get early on. It's quite powerful.
Horseman, do I've enough of then. Have you enough? But one so clever as yourself will surely elude them.
The fire is more. You should make haste to the top. What? Oh, you. When it is said the forge was. You should make haste. Fight fast.
Anyways, I'll do things like, wait. Let me talk in a way that makes sense, cause apparently I can't do that at the moment. Oh, God. Alright. Let's try saying this, okay? Okay, so normally I'm used to having the Chaos Fang at the moment, but whatever, so... Anyways, I'll be doing the DLC when I get to the point where I'm able to do that. I admit that'll require me to do a little bit of... like, a little bit of research later after I get through this thing, the fire in the mountain, but hey, like, it's not that bad, I don't think. Anyways, there's the creepy Eye of Sauron. This thing actually, that eye.
This is no place for all.
Let me show you. I'm pretty sure it looks at you, alright? Yeah, it looks at you, like it follows you around. Its eye does, like it keeps its eyes on you. Giddy up, horsey, let's go! Yee! Turn. There we go. Anyways, we are not going to be able to get through that right now because I don't have the necessary tools to go through the dungeon. Oh, speaking of dungeon, I'll be doing those when I get the chance, postponing the foundry in order to give myself an edge with the guardian and stuff. So, here's Volgrim, the merchant from the first game.
You won't be fresh merchandise.
He lets you respec and he gives you this stuff. If you're interested in that. Oh, I think what he does is, I think he sells stuff at like a, or will buy stuff from you at a higher price than normal. Either way, I don't need this crap. This inferior garbage.
Another tie.
And there are pages if you...
And so...
Alright. So,
I have to go alone.
Something that kind of bothers me a bit about this is the inventory space thing. Like, you have limited inventory space. Now, first time I played this game, I never even came close to inventory space issues, because I mostly sold everything I found, and I didn't get a lot of legendary items, which I have a tendency of hoarding, except for a lot of legendary armors, which I tend to sell. But I started holding on to weapons to infuse possessed weapons with in one of my more recent playthroughs, and that resulted in me running out of storage space. Hooah! Bitch. Anyways, up and at 'em. So, Wrath on Execute. I'll take it, I'll take it. I'm kind of sad because I don't have the overpowered sight, which you get from, like, the Pauldron of the Horseman, the shoulder pad that I got from the Shaman Lady, and the Chaos Fang Scythe are things you'd normally get from the Shaman Lady if you've beaten the original Darksiders. One you get from getting your first achievements, and the other you get from beating the game. Or it might be killing the final boss, because, like, there's an achievement for both. Even though they're both, like, you know, they happen at the same time. I'm guessing it's just there to give you extra gamer score, because the final boss of Darksiders 1 is pretty tough. Like, he's not that bad, but he's not exactly a pushover either. He can definitely beat your ass if you're inexperienced or you're not careful. Like, for example, first time I fought him, it took me only a few tries to kill him, like, only 3 tries, but the thing is, each of those tries lasted a long time. Especially in his second form, because I could beat his first form almost flawlessly. But his second form, his more human form, his angel form, like, gave me a lot of trouble. And normally I'm pretty good at dealing with those sorts of enemies, like, it's just like he deflected my attacks so well, and he was so aggressive, but he gave me a lot of trouble. Again? I did it. Again. Anyways, I'm probably gonna cut this kind of short. Partially because I, like, you know, advice from the guy who initially made this game. His advice was grind. You know, you need to grind. I think that was the director who said that. I'm not sure, actually. Sorry, they actually, THQ, Nordic, I think, or whatever it is. They actually, not Nordic, just THQ and like Vigil or Virtual Games, one of the two. I forgot which one it was, but they actually made this game at the cost of going, like, bankrupt and having, like, no money left, and having to, like, lose their jobs, yet they still made the game. Like, that's not something EA or Microsoft's going to do. Thing is, there used to be a time when that was actually kind of normal. Like, that's something that most developers would do at one point. But these days, it's all corporate bullshit ruining games. It's like for Epic Games and the way they handle Fortnite. If you want to talk about just from a pure objective business standpoint, their business model is genius. But from a more ethical and morality standpoint, aka my point of view, I think it's a bunch of bullshit, because instead of just having a buttload of things to do when the game came out as like a $30, $40 game, instead they made it free to play for accessibility, but they compromised the progression system for the sake of monetization and a battle pass in order to make more of a profit. And it's like, there's nothing objectively wrong with that. There's really not. Like, there's nothing objectively wrong about it. It's just, I think it's scummy. Like, I view it as them being corporate bullshit and wanting to make money instead of just finishing their damn game and just making a badass game. It's like Halo 3's business philosophy, if any of you played that, like, the way Bungie made Halo 3, Halo 3 advertised itself once it came out because of the fact that Halo 3 was a really social game and encouraged community content creation via the Forge mode and through custom games, and they employed, challenges, recon, and the achievements, the achievement-tied, armor unlock system. And what that resulted in is it resulted in the people playing the game getting a lot more, it results in people who played the game would want to bring their friends over to play the game and play through split screen, but then, like, their friends have to move or something, and so they buy the game for themselves on their own Xbox so that they can play it without having to go to their friend's house because something happens and they can't go to their friend's house anymore. Or it could just be they just want to play it for themselves and unlock their own armors and stuff. And be able to make their own in-game identity. And as a result, that sells a copy of the game. And then people see, like, on IGN, they see guides to unlocking armors and stuff on it, and people are like, well, what's all the fuss about? And so they buy the game, and then let someone else in, and then people are also making, like, YouTube videos, machinimas, and, like machinimas, montages, and all this content around the game, which results in more people wanting to buy the game. Once the game was published and released, it advertised and marketed itself through its surrounding community. That is genius, and I wish more games would use that philosophy instead of relying on updates. Wonder how Halo 3 would generate hype? It generated hype through community content, tournaments, esports, and it also generated it through challenges that Bungie would put out so you could get on the, Bungie's favorite list and whatnot, or have your Forge map put into map rotation. That was what you would do. And as a result, that's how you generated hype. That's how they keep people playing, because Halo 3 wasn't the type of game you play competitively. You could play competitively and try to get all the achievements, unlock all the armors, and and work tirelessly to try and impress Bungie to get, the recon armor. Or what you could do is you could just play casually and dick around with your friends and have a good time, and no matter how long a game's been out, fucking around with your friends and just having a good time, that's always possible. You can always do that, even if the game is like 20 plus years old. It's like, fun games, truly good games, are timeless. They don't need a 10-year lifespan or 10-year post-launch support because the game supports itself. It's able to sustain itself afterwards. Meanwhile, you have modern games, which rely on updates, post-launch monetization, and built updates that, mind you, a lot of the updates had content that was already ready and in the game before the game even came out, and then they just added it back into the game. And then they cut it from the game and added it back into the game post-launch in order to make more money and in order to artificially extend the lifespan. It's like, these days you can't judge the lifespan of a game as a sign of how good the game was. You can't do that anymore. And the reason is because of the fact that these days it's not a sign of how good a game is. It's a sign of the amount of money and corporate bullshit that the game was surrounded by. It's like some games, like World of Warcraft or Star Wars The Old Republic, these were better examples of post-launch support for a game. Want to know some bad examples of post-launch support? Halo 5. Call of Duty, World War II. Call of Duty, World War II. That was a bad example. That's an example of bad post-launch support. Not bad post-launch content per se, but the way they used post-launch support. Or with Minecraft, that was another good example. Because with Minecraft, at least for a good while, especially before Microsoft took over, you know, you were mostly getting stuff that was cool and interesting out of the post-launch support. You weren't getting a bunch of bullshit you didn't care about. You got actual interesting things out of it. And as a result, you were, get this, excited for updates back then at least, because those updates had cool things like desert villages, sandstone temples, jungle temples. You know, like, you had cool shit like that coming in, and as a result, you were excited for the update. But the thing is that it all, at least to me, it always felt like those updates were special because they were genuine additions. Like, had Minecraft title update, 1, just if that had been the game that we got and it never got updated, I honestly think that Minecraft, sure, it wouldn't be as popular, but I think it would be just as appealing because I played Title Update 1 and I freaking loved the game. And I didn't start playing the game until way after Title Update 1, way after, the original version. I started playing the game by the time jungle biomes were in. Like, when I started playing the game, like, jungle biomes were already in there and stuff. Like, shortly before, like, the update before trading, villager trading, and, like, the desert update and stuff, 1.6, no, 1.5.2, I want to say. Like, shortly before that update, I believe, was when I first started, like, playing the game. And I went back and I played Title Update 1, and I loved it. To this day, I would still enjoy going back and playing Title Update 1. Like, it was a good game. It was a good game, and there was stuff to do. There's, it was a game about building and, just dicking around and surviving. It's like, it's not a game that needs an ending. It's not a game that really needed post-launch support in order to actually give you stuff to do, because it wasn't a shooter game. It was a game revolved around content creation, building, surviving, mining. It was a game revolved around exploring so that you can do your own stuff in the game And as a result, if it didn't get any updates, it still would have been a really good game regardless, with a substantial fan base. However, because it did get updates up to at least in my opinion, up to 1.7.2, because at that point the game started to go downhill in my opinion. And as a result, to me, those Minecraft updates all felt, they all felt special. They all felt, they felt like I was getting my money's worth. Like, they felt like they were adding to the game, and it never felt like Notch was like, oh hey, I know what I can do. This really cool thing that I could put in the game, I can cut it from the game and sell it back to them later. After I sell X amount of loot boxes. Like, no, he wasn't like that. Like, he made the game because he wanted to make the game and he wanted people to enjoy it. And if you didn't like it, he was like, okay, fuck you. Like, if there's something that I could put in the game that would make you like it, then I'll do it, but if you don't like the game because of the art style or something, fuck you. That was the kind of person that he was. He was from like the Valve days of game design. Back when it was like a couple people in their mother's basement or in their garage making a game because they wanted to make something that would be fun for people to play. Like, they made the game because they would enjoy playing the game. Not so much to make money. Sure, money is a part of any business, but it used to be that with game design, making the game, finishing the product, and publishing it came before making money. Also, post-launch support is only good for the people who stick around. Like, if you cut stuff out from the game before you put things that, like, some of those features could be, could be crucial to the first impression of the game and whether or not people will like it. And so if you cut some of those things out from the game before you publish it to sell it back later, wonder what that does to people? That damages the first impression because there's less content at day one, which means that a small percentage of people will stick around. So, basically what I'm saying, don't plan on updating your game. Updates should come naturally as people recommend things to add to the game, and as you come up with things that you wish you'd thought of before. Because if you let the updates come organically, that'll make it so those updates are special, because they each have the potential to be the last, which means people won't get burnt out. And also, it'll be a surprise when it comes out, which means that just through simple shock and awe, you could bring back people in, because they'll be really vocal about the update having come out, because they were so surprised by it. That also means they'll be less critical of it because of their shock and awe, which means that any mistakes that you might have made, now obviously you should try to catch any mistakes you made before you put the update out, but if you missed any, those mistakes are less likely to be noticed and called out because of the fact that people are shocked by the update because they didn't think you were going to update the game because the game was supposedly done. You know, it's like... It used to be that if you were to update a game, you would need to release a new version that people would download. And that's another thing I don't like about updates, is that, what if I stop liking the game? What if an update changes the game so much that I don't like it anymore? What if an update ruins the game? You know, it's like, with Doom. A lot of the ports for Doom play differently and stuff, you know, and some versions of the game give you access to entirely different episodes. An example being the second episode of Doom 2, Hell on Earth. That was not in the original thing. That was added like way after the fact, like, in like the 2000s. So, you know, because of the fact it was added just so far after the fact, it was a lot more special. It's like, and to this day, people still play the original Doom, and that game barely got any significant changes. Like, it was barely changed since it came out. Like, the best changes that it's gotten are, like, some minor graphical and performance changes. And those, like, are minor tweaks. And the biggest changes it's gotten are the additions of, another episode of, you know, of the game. Like, those are the biggest changes that it got. But for the most part, all it really was a little bit of rebalancing to the game. Like, you know, fixing some bugs, and also, like, doing some rebalancing that was, like, broken or something. But for the most part, like, that's all they did. And that's something that I wish more games would do these days. I wish games would be finished and made to be self-sustainable. Like, when you make your game, right, you should stuff it full of content for day one. You should make it to where your game, between the single player, the multiplayer, the achievements, and the armor, because it doesn't matter if people like the game, because if people just like the game, that's not good enough. You want people to love the game. And if people don't love the game, then they're not going to stick around for those updates. Not only that, but also, wanna know what else? They're not going to stay with the game that long anyway, even if you do update it. Like, they'll come back for like a month after an update, and then like, by the time the next season comes out, like, they're not interested anymore. They're busy playing something else. That's what'll happen. But do you want to know a good way around this? It's pretty simple. I'm sure many of you might think I'm being blasphemous for thinking this. But But, yes. But, what you can do is you can make it so people have 3 years of content. Make it so people have tools to make their own levels, or even their own campaigns. I mean, some games provide you the ability to make your own, like, mini campaigns. An example would be Doom 2016. You can basically make your own mini campaign in that game through the Snap Map feature. And you can make more multiplayer maps and multiplayer modes through it in completely unique, you know, levels that have their own unique layouts. And if you're really patient, you can even place down just this empty room and stuff it full of rocks and props, lock them in place and stuff in order to make your own map from the ground up with its own aesthetic and environment. And as you can guess, that's the big money. That's the big money. The big money. That's the big money, boy. The big money. Like, I'm not even saying that to sound retarded. I'm being dead ass serious. Like, that's the big money. Because people just like the game. It's a good game. Like, and so, if you get people to like the game, then all that content, they're less likely to get bored of it because they love the game. They don't like it, they love it. And as a result, all the armor and skin unlocks and making new levels, getting all those achievements, they'll do it all because they love the game that they bought. They love the game, and as a result, they'll stick around. But not only that, they're the people who are going to buy your next game. And so, if you don't update your game at all, you should have enough in the game so that the people who love it will be playing that game for at least 3 years, and that's taking school and a job into account. Because obviously if your game is made for, like, elementary kids or something, then, you know, obviously they'll get through it faster, because elementary kids aren't in school as long, blah blah. Elementary kids have, like, half days in some places, so, like, and so because of that, your game, people won't get bored of it because it had 3 years of content at launch, plus you're going to have more content on the way. Now, if you make your game like that, where people will be playing it for 3 years, you know, even without it, right? You know, like, even, you know, with a job and stuff, because there's a lot to do in the game, you know, that's at least 3 years, because, you know, like, for all you know, some of those people could play the game for even longer if they love the game enough. You know, like, if the game's good enough, some of them could play it for even longer than 3 years, making machinimas and looking for Easter eggs and all that stuff. You know, like, that is how you foster a game that doesn't die. Because the game can't die if it's always getting updated, but it had so much to do to begin with. which means that it doesn't matter if it gets updated that much, because it would have already lasted at least 3 fucking years. And, you know, like, and if you're going to monetize your game, and when I say monetize, I mean, I'm not talking about map packs, or, like, an expansion. And for expansion, think of, like, the expansions you would get for, like, Command and Conquer, right? I'm talking about, like I'm talking, like, skins, like, selling skins, armors, cosmetics, or even weapons, and God forbid, loot boxes. I'm talking about those, and so if you're going to add any of those, do it for special occasions. An example, 4th of July, Christmas, like on like President's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, you know. Sell those and make those the theme of the holiday. And give, like, an example, like I propose for Halo 5, as an example, is say, let's say it's Christmas, right? So design an armor that has, get this, it's got, like, it's Santa themed in its coloring, but not only is it Santa themed in its color, it's also got, like, a hood on, like a poncho or whatever, that's Santa themed with a Christmas hat over the top. I'd pay money for that. Like, I'd pay $5 for that. You know, especially since next year it might be elf themed. It might not be Santa themed, and as a result, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to get it. And plus, it's not a daily thing. You know, it's not a daily thing, you know. It's not part of the core game. It's just this little thing you quickly scrap together and put into the game, you know, just for the sake of a little bit of fan service, or, you know, letting people get a bit more into, like, the holiday spirit or something, and make a bit of cash on the side, you know, to fund the expansion or the map pack that's on its way, you know. Or maybe to fund the sequel, depending on the kind of person you are. For me, it would be funding an expansion, map packs, and also the sequel, because I'd be, like, working on those all at the same time, because apparently I can be a workaholic at times, supposedly. And again, I mean, so is my grandpa, so I guess it runs in the family. Alright, so now that we're done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and go through all this to deal with this horse shit. And yes, I think it's horse shit. This is quite a bit better, so yeah, this is also better, so that's good, this is also good. Giving that to the guy, so I'll be making some cash off of that, that's good. Okay, so now I can go ahead and get this. Yes, because at this point, like, severity is a bit less important than like quantity of my powers. So right, now I can go ahead and fast travel the hell out of this place. So fast travel on over to this guy. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be selling some crap, and then after that, actually, I already destroyed those. Those only come back if, like, I think if you were to leave this world and go to one of the other worlds in the game, but obviously I haven't reached any of those yet, so those aren't going to come into play. Anyways,
There are new talismans for you to browse.
sell.
I will offer
Obviously, we
this
don't need
to the
those.
forest.
Definitely need those, though. That's gonna be useless. These are definitely
thanks.
useless. So is this.
I will make use of it as best.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep that, if nothing else, just out of paranoia that I might need it at some point. I don't need it now, but maybe later? But probably not, honestly. Probably not. It's like, when you know where to go, this thing flies by so much faster versus when you're playing it blind without watching a guide. Because to this day, I am still anal retentive about, like, I'm not a complete completionist with this game. Like, I am willing to sit by and let things slip and not complete every little thing. I'm still prone to wanting to do that, but I don't always do that with this game. Though I do admittedly often try, probably a bit too hard to do so. Look at the side of this. This doesn't have corruption growing on it. This doesn't look like Absalom's axe. Well, it does, but you know what I mean. And we'll get to that when we beat the game.
I can.
I've always wanted to fight a mecha.
I will break it, and
You down to size. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Surprise you, bro.
So let those go ahead and just distract him. No, you don't empty your clip entirely. Leave one round in, because then you get your bullets back faster.
Far from over. Come on, show me what you've got. Come on, show me what you've got. Had enough of old Bess, have we? Right, you've gotten that far. You're alive. Take it, me horseman. Far from over.
nearly ended with disastrous consequences. Okay, so I think I'm at like level 5 now. So
Well, a battle won should never go
unrewarded.
You got lucky.
I think you're looking the
Perhaps
wrong
I
way.
am too old to do this. Age isn't everything. So, Beethier, you kill them all? Sounds like it.
I want this. Look at me. Look at me now, please. There we go. Thank you. So I'm gonna get this.
That one's my favorite.
I always get that. So.
If I'm to be a big one, but I only know that she's a beast. What? Corrupt Gorwood in old.
Again, you can find these on other channels and stuff. I'm not doing this because I've already played the game. Now, while I will skip dialogue, I won't skip like proper cutscenes. So, wait. Thing shooting, is this just me or is this thing shooting like 2 bullets? Because I don't think it's double barreled. So just look at how how big this gun is. Like, it's so big. Like, this is a whole ass like heavy duty like 2-handed pistol type of thing. Like, that's the kind of pistol you're supposed to hold with like 2 hands. It's like a 50 caliber pistol. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I'm just stupid, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, but whatever. I think this is actually the thing I wanted to put my point in. Fuck. Oh well. As you can see, this has higher damage and also gives me some defense. Now, as you can see, this improves my strength, arcane, and my defense greatly. Greatly. Is a big improvement. Anyways, I'm gonna head on to yeah. I know I probably completely got sidetracked with like my whole thing where I was talking about that, like, you know, updates and all. I'm sorry, like, this isn't scripted, this is me talking off the top of my head, and obviously when you're talking and playing the game at the same time, sometimes you get sidetracked and forget what you're saying. So, yeah. Plus, this is, you know, this is a live stream, so I mean, I would certainly hope it's not scripted, because otherwise it sounds like a lot of work for like what could very well be 2 to 3 hours of me talking.
Tried to seal in the corruption, but no good came of it.
What is more than due is the venom those stingers.
If you can find it, I'll be in your... You're a good man. What can the do was that if I with a pew with a fortunate few slipped out before, and well, you might still be. Run along, Ryder. I'll rest a bit.
Alright, so, what I'm going to be doing is next time I think next time it's gonna be much more of just a simple speaking thing, so, like, it won't be as action heavy, because I'm going to be going around hunting for some specific things, all of the, well, you'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a wrap for today, so, See you guys. What? Hold on. I did this before and I want to do it again. Hold on a sec. Hold on. This is me saying, see you guys later. I'm out. I wish I could just cut it off without having to do this, so that would be more menacing. This is Hitman0061 saying, see you guys later. I'm out. I can't do the ridiculously high-pitched voice right now. My throat's kind of dry because I've been talking for so long. So, yeah. Adios.